everyone. Welcome back to What's Happening at NCI. I'm your host, Olivia Garrett, and today we have with us two special guests. We have Miss Naomi Hodge-Muse of the Martinsville-Henry County NAACP, and we have Miss Charisse Hairston, who is the Executive Director of the Fayette Area Historic Initiative, or FAHI. Welcome, Naomi and Charisse.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we are really excited to have you guys here and learn a bit about you, the organizations you represent, and also the exciting events coming up around Juneteenth later in the month. So let's kick it off with Naomi. Naomi, the woman of many talents, as I keep learning. Can you share with us your background, some of your community work, and your role with NAACP?
Okay, I was born and raised here. In fact, I was born at New College Institute. It was called St. Mary's Hospital at that time. And the very location that New College Institute is was St. Mary's Hospital. I was born there in 1951. I am a graduate of Virginia Union University and North Carolina Greensboro, University of North Carolina Greensboro. I have an MBA from them. I worked in industry, DuPont for 2 years, and then Miller Brewing Company for 30. I am currently president of the Martinsville-Henry County NAACP. I've been president for the last 16 years. I'm also president of the Martinsville-Henry County Voters League, and I just authored a book, Tales of Cola Holla, which was awarded the gold medal for the best book by a first-time writer. It was published last year on Juneteenth, and it was awarded the gold medal 2 weeks ago. I spoke at UVA, Center of Political Affairs, in March about the book and interviewed by one of the deans. So currently I am assistant pastor at Grace Presbyterian Church, where we have 12 of the most beautiful children in the universe, and I am absolutely the most spoiling person ever. We have prayer breakfast every second and fourth Sunday for the children, and so if there are young people who are young parents who are looking for a church family, we do functional Christianity. So we feed the kids eggs and pancakes and sausage, the Word of God, and the parents are welcome to come because we talk about functional Christianity. What does Christianity look like? So we're not doing coloring books. The kids are actually using white pages and they're writing things on the wall. The boys sit on one side, the girls on the other, and that's the reason why it keeps all the fussing down. So the girls can be very prissy and the boys can be who they are. And we do that on the second and fourth Sunday, and we invite young people to not only come, but bring your child and stay, because functional Christianity is the thing that will save you in this life. So I'm a happily, very active old woman. Trying my
very
best,
active.
Trying my best to do my best until the Lord takes me home.
Well, that's awesome. And so I did not know that about you being born at St. Mary's Hospital, where NCI currently is, but you've also in the past served on NCI's board of directors, and now you're on the new foundation for New College Institute. So I know NCI is very thankful for your continued support over the years.
I am very supportive of NCI. I think it's needed, and I think it needs to grow and needs to expand, and I'm looking forward to doing whatever I can to help NCI grow in the community.
Ditto. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let's move over to Charisse. Charisse, can you give us the same background, your community involvement, a little bit about you and what you do with FAHI?
Well, it was neat to get to learn that from Naomi, because I didn't know that about her either. So most people that I speak to, when I say we have Fayette Area Historical Initiative or FAHI Museum, they're like, what is that? Well, that's your local Black History Museum. That's for everyone to come, but we make sure we get to tell the history as a whole. Unfortunately, sometimes your marginalized populations are left out when it comes to, modern American history, and so we just make sure you are well versed on history as a whole. I normally say Black history is not Black history, it's America's history just being told the way it should be. And so FAHI has been there for over 20 years. Last year we celebrated with the Harlem Renaissance Gala that you actually attended.
Yes.
And you attended as well, Ms. Naomi.
Great.
I have been the director there since January of last year, so I'm in my second year there.
Great.
And we now have changing exhibits. Our newest exhibit that will be unveiled in July is going to be exploring the professional athletes from this area, former professional athletes who are African American from this area. And I have learned so much in curating this exhibit, so I'm excited. A little about me personally. I attend Refuge Temple Ministries, so my pastor is Bishop Allen and Lady Gloria Preston. My husband and I are over the marriage ministry there, so we love that. I'm a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Kappa Delta Omega's chapter here in Martinsville, Virginia. I work a lot with our young people. That is my focus. I enjoy that mentorship, encouraging them to do community service, get involved, and then being a constant so that they can reach out to me. I'm currently teaching the Summer Development Institute program that they have at Patrick and Henry Community College.
You just came from there.
Just came from there, and the first thing I do on the first day of class is I stand in front of the class and give my personal cell phone number.
Oh.
And I tell the students, if you're in a situation that you're not comfortable calling your parents or anyone, call me. Let's get you out of it safe, and then I'll sit down with your parents and have that conversation. And so I realized that if we don't really invest into our youth, we can't just talk about them. We have to invest into them. So normally for the festival, we have over 40 volunteers, and over 50% of them are youth.
Oh, that's
intentional.
Great. That's great.
So I don't really go into everything that I get the opportunity to do. I just love to get to serve.
Yeah.
I can never talk about myself, though, without saying I am blessed to be married to my handsome husband for the past 17 years. He has been my rock, and I'm so thankful for him. I have a wonderful support system.
That's great. Yeah, you are very involved. I don't know if you remember this, but I think the very first time we met was with the Health Equity Collaborative.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, that was when I was in a previous job at the Planning District Commission and had gone to those meetings. And yeah, so it's great. That's what I love about Martinsville is that there's always lots of recurring faces, and there's always those people that are always going to be there to help, which is definitely the two of y'all. And
thank you.
We're very appreciative for it. Well, we are going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to dive into more about FAHI and the NAACP and also talk about Juneteenth. Thank you. Welcome back to What's Happening at NCI. If you're just now joining us, I'm here with Miss Naomi Hodge-Muse and Miss Charisse Hairston. As we discussed during the first segment, Naomi is the president of the Martinsville-Henry County NAACP, and Charisse is executive director of the Fayette Area Historic Initiative, or FAHI. So thank you, ladies, again for joining us. If we could just take a quick second to talk about the work that each of y'all are doing within your organization. So we'll start with Naomi. You were just telling us before we came back from the break a little bit about what the NAACP is working on and their support of students.
We try each year to give at least 2 $500 scholarships and at least 1 $250 scholarships to area students who are trying to get an education. We want to give a vocational technical scholarship, and we've just started that one.
Oh, wow.
So that the kids that are taking plumbing or brick masonry we can help them with their welder's helmet, whatever. And these are the kids that are going to Patrick Henry, and we give at least 2 $500 scholarships for kids going off to college. And we were able to, and we've already got recipients for the 2 $500 scholarships. We're looking for vocational technical scholarships, so if you are interested and you're trying to be a welder or a brick masoner or a carpenter or a plumber, please contact the NAACP. Our membership, just talk to your pastor and we'll get in touch with me, and so that we can get you on the line to get a scholarship. As far as NAACP, we're now concentrating on voter education and trying to get people to realize that we have an election on June 17th. It is a Democratic primary. You need to go out and vote. When I voted 3 weeks ago, only 42 people had voted so far. It is important to vote in all elections, in your local elections, in your primaries, and in your state and federal elections. We cannot abdicate our vote, because when you abdicate your vote, you abdicate your voice. So please go out and vote in the primary. You've got a slot for lieutenant governor and a slot for attorney general. Their ads have been on television, and early voting has already started. So when you go pay your electric bill, when you go pay your taxes or get some renewal at the courthouse, just drop by the registrar's office and you can vote. And the last day of election is June 17th, and will be open, and you can vote at your normal precinct, wherever your normal precinct is.
Great. Well, mid to late June's a busy time,
Yes.
sounds like. Well, Charisse, tell us a little bit more about what FAHI has going on currently. I know you're in the midst of all the planning for Juneteenth coming up.
Yes, so Juneteenth kind of takes over around mid-May, and the purpose of that, though, is because we put on a festival that we want to be free for the community. But we don't want that festival just to be simple, lackluster. We want you to be able to come to an event and feel like you're in a big city.
Yeah.
So we advocate for good talent to come in. Chaz Whitfield, he handles all of my sound for any event that we do. He handled the sound for the Harlem Renaissance Gala for the festival last year. He also handles, though, all of my music and talent. And so he's very well connected. That is his vein of what he does. And if you remember at the gala, we had that nice band. And that was all, he put that together for me. And so this year, he has been able to reach out to most of the talent that you see on the flyer. He's the one that put that together for me. So yes, that's a big shout out to Chaz, but I ride him very, very hard when it comes to helping me. I'm not the easiest person when it comes to business. I'm the nicest person that when it comes to personal. So that is the biggest thing we've been working on right now is the festival. But as I stated before, we want to have transitional exhibits. That's important for us. And so we'll have our new exhibit. I plan to have that released at by the festival. That was too ambitious. You have to learn when to pivot. And so we'll announce it at the festival, but it will open in July. We haven't, the date for that is pending. We also are in the midst of our 3-year strategic plan.
Oh, wow.
At the museum and board development. So we have new board members coming on, and we just unveiled a new logo.
Oh, nice.
So that's exciting. So we're doing some rebranding, and by the end of this year, we'll be launching a strategic, not a strategic plan, we'll be launching our capital campaign. So we're excited about that too. We are located in a historic building, and so that was the former Imperial Savings and Loan Bank. So that building is registered in the historic registry. So that building will not be torn down, but the 3 buildings attached to it, they're not contributing to the historic district. So the plan is to eventually demolish those buildings, and then we're building a new facility, so it'll be attached.
And then you got a good mix of like the old and the new. You got the history, and then you got a modern building with all of the, bells and whistles.
That's the thought process. A lot of times we think history is just ancient, but history, especially in the Black community, is created every day. We're still having the first this, the first that, and I want those things to be highlighted at the museum. I want people to be able to come in. We currently have, the first African American to be the county. Was it the county treasurer in Henry County?
Right, yes.
Tiffany Hairston. She's the first in that role. Or with Henry County Public Schools, you have Tamia Easley. She's the first Black female to be the director of communications for Henry County Public Schools.
Wow.
So when you still have those things happening, it's nice that we highlight those so the next generation understands that we want you to look at one side of the museum and see this is the work that was done so that these firsts now even have the opportunity to be able to step into those roles. And so that's what we're excited about. It's a lot happening.
Yeah.
It's a lot happening.
When do you sleep?
I have a great, building out our board, we're bringing in some great people. And so one of the things of leadership is finding the strengths in the people that surround you, and then allowing them to function in those strengths. And so that has been my leadership curve, and that's what I'm growing in right now.
Ooh, well, that's a good one to learn about. Well, let's talk a little bit more about Juneteenth. I know that we've touched on it during the show so far, but can either one of you just kind of give a 30-second to 1 minute, what is Juneteenth and why is it important?
Juneteenth is important because Juneteenth is the day that all African enslaved people were free. The war was over, and yet the people in Texas did not know it was over. They did not know for 2 years that they were free. And so finally a general read that proclamation that they were free. And they had remained enslaved. Even at the end of the Civil War, they had remained enslaved months and months after the Civil War was over. And so Opal, the lady that lobbied for it, she was 82 when she walked all the way from Texas to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
And lobbied Joe Biden to make it a national holiday. And so it became a national holiday under his administration. And so in Virginia, we had not celebrated Juneteenth. It had not, the fever of Juneteenth or the flavor of Juneteenth did not reach Virginia until about 20 years ago. And they had been celebrating in Texas for every year since the Emancipation Proclamation, since they were free after the Civil War. So it had slowly gained momentum, and I'm having a senior moment. Her name was Opal.
Opal Lee.
Opal Lee. There you go. It's my name. My word, I didn't see that senior moment. Opal Lee got it to be a holiday, and so once it became a holiday, but about 20 years ago, it started slowly infiltrating into Virginia, into other southern areas. And within the last 5 years, it has really just blown up here in Martinsville. We had the very first one at the farmer's market, and it was put on by FAHI. It was at the farmer's market about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And so then we decided, because the Martin Luther King holiday had always been taken by the Qs, so we didn't want to compete with that. So the NAACP said, well, let us use Juneteenth as one of our major fundraisers and a way to celebrate. So our Juneteenth celebration is a gospel extravaganza. We've got people that can sing the angels down. We've got Ralph and Renee Payne. Ralph plays the harmonica, and Renee has a voice like a nightingale. We've got Valeria Edwards. We've got Raymond Staples. We've got the PW Singers, and we've got the Joy Bells. We are going to sing the angels down. If you can't get a shout on, if you can't get a praise on, you're deaf and you're not present at the New College Institute. It's going to be at 6 o'clock, and it's only $10, and the $10, once again, goes for our scholarships so that we can continue to encourage our children towards excellence. Get your education. It doesn't have to mean college. It can be vocational, but get your training and get on about your business. And so Juneteenth is a celebration, a gospel extravaganza.
And remind me, so Juneteenth is a federal holiday.
Yes.
It's also state holiday,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yeah,
so everybody is off.
Everybody's off
The
work.
banks are closed. So everybody is off, and it starts at 6 o'clock. So even if you have to work, you can still get there. And if you get there at 6:30 or 7, they'll still be singing the angels down. So come on out.
Well, very good. Well, we are going to cut for our final commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about FAHI's Juneteenth event on June 14th, and also about Naomi's NAACP event at NCI on the 19th. Thank you. Back to what's happening at NCI. We're wrapping up our show today with Miss Naomi Hodge-Muse and Charisse Hairston. We've been talking about the work that they do at the NAACP and at FAHI, and we are going to wrap up the show, as we usually do, talking about upcoming events, and the ones that are right around the corner are various Juneteenth events.
Yes.
So Charisse, let's start with you. What does FAHI have planned for Juneteenth?
So it is a lot, but this year our festival will be hosted by former NBA player Gary Forbes.
Oh, wow.
And former WNBA player Sylvia Crawley-Spann. So Gary played for the Denver Nuggets. He's the first African American to play with type 1 diabetes.
Really?
And he has a comic book series where he encourages youth to play sports beyond their health disparities. So he'll talk about that at the festival.
That's cool.
Miss Sylvia, she was the first female to win the dunk contest, and she did it blindfolded in the WNBA. So we're excited to have them. But one of the key things I'll point out about the festival is it is free to come. Ooh. And we can do that because we have wonderful sponsors, and I won't list all of them for today, but 3 of our really big sponsors that help to keep this event free, the City of Martinsville, Carter Bank, and a new sponsor this year, Nestle Purina, out of Eden. And so I'm really excited to be able to partner with them. When you come to the festival, you'll see a banner that will have all of our sponsors. And on our website and our social media, you'll see all of our sponsors as well.
Oh, great.
We will have singers and performers. So I like to kind of show the entire African diaspora when we're doing events like this. So we do have a gospel portion with the Family 5 opening the program, and then Christoph Hairston and Maya Fountain and Friends, they will be performing. Christoph was a part of the group One Accord that came in second on America's Got Talent last year.
Wow.
And so Maya, she goes to my church. I'm ready for her to become a national recording artist. That will happen.
Oh, wow.
And so they're going to be performing. And then we have Fresh Wind Dance Group.
Oh, nice.
And then we will go into a bike competition. So I'm inviting, if you ride a Harley, if you have a 3-wheel bike, a Spider, slingshot, trike, cruiser, if you drive a slingshot, bring it out. We're going to have specialized parking just for the bikes. And at 5 p.m., you have to be there by 5 p.m. for that. Your bikes will be judged. It is not a serious competition. It's about fun. We will have prizes for that. And then there will be an overall winner for that. And then we will shift into the R&B portion.
Ooh.
Yes, and I'm excited about that. We'll have Aaron Martin and his group. He's a local group, local R&B group. They are really good. And then everybody's really big with the boots on the ground, right? And so Chuck Gregory, who did the song Roll It, he used to be a part of the original, I think it's 803 Fresh out of South Carolina.
Okay.
And now he's a national recording artist, and he is headlining the festival. You can come and listen to that music, bring you a lawn chair, bring your kids. We have bounce houses, and Demetrius Kent does all my bounce houses and water slides. Bring $1 so you can get a ball for the dunk booth, because we have Chief Fincher and we have Sheriff Davis from the county, and even the fire chief in the city, Dale, he's going to be in that dunk booth, so you can dunk them.
Fun.
Come hungry. We have 7 food trucks. Food trucks coming from Chesapeake, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, Greensboro, North Carolina, and some of our local trucks.
That's awesome.
And then we have lemonade vendors, 3. It will be mocktails, and mocktails, for those who don't know, no alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm not encouraging you to drink and then get on your motorcycle and drive off. No. So we'll have mocktails,
Safe practice.
bottled lemonade, and then we have a guy coming from Raleigh called the Lemonator. And he makes lemonades like this big around, fills it with candy. So, I mean, it's just a neat time. The theme this year, though, is all centered around inspiring our future. I don't know if you've seen the T-shirts, but the T-shirts actually feature local individuals who have done things. And you've seen those shirts that say, like, fight like Martin. These shirts say execute justice like Joan Ziegler, build like Dana Baldwin. So they're really nice shirts, and that's the theme behind it. We have to honor our past and then allow that to inspire our future before we can then celebrate our freedom. And that's the theme behind the festival this year.
I love that. Well, and that's what I love about Martinsville is, you know, it's a small area, but boy, do we have some big hitters. We have award-winning national authors right here at the table with us. We've got people that have gone into pro sports, people who can sing and can dance and have done so many things, been big in politics. I mean, I just love hearing stuff like that. So that's awesome. And so for the record, it's Saturday, June 14th.
Yes.
From what's the time frame again?
Saturday, June 14th at 500 Swanson Street, which is Baldwin Park. And that park is located behind Albert Harris High School. It used to be the football field for Albert Harris High School. And it is from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m.
2 p.m. to 8 p.m. All right. And Naomi, you told us a little bit about the Juneteenth event coming up at NCI that the NAACP is hosting, and that is on Juneteenth. That's Thursday, June 19th at
6 o'clock.
6
At
p.m.
6 o'clock, and it's air conditioned for all us older people who can't brave the heat, so you can still enjoy your Juneteenth. And it is so important for us to rejoice and be exceedingly glad, because this is the day the Lord has made, and we can rejoice and be glad in it. So come out and rejoice with us. Pack this place so we can give our scholarships out and praise God, because all of us are still free in this country, and this is our country. We are Americans, and we are happy and proud of our native land.
Amen. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for being here on the show with me today and for sharing about what your organizations do, about what's coming up. Juneteenth, both your events sound really exciting. And so I'm thankful that we have so much to look forward to. And speaking of upcoming events, at NCI, we've got a lot going on over the next few weeks. Today, Tuesday, June 3rd at 7 p.m., NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, they're hosting their next family-to-family support meeting, and that's going to take place in room 104 at the Baldwin Building. Then later on Thursday, June 5th, we're going to host another STEM professional development opportunity for K through 8 teachers. Thank you to the Virginia Department of Education for putting that on. Friday, June 6th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., law enforcement professionals, school staff, and students, they are going to take part in our next immersive de-escalation training. This is in partnership with the Piedmont Regional Criminal Justice Training Academy. Again, that's June 6th from 8 to 12 p.m. We also, next week, the week of June 9th, have our next basic safety training with sea survival. That's for our wind industry training. And don't miss, you can sign up online on newcollegeinstitute.org. There is an active shooter exercise development workshop. This is a free training coming from Texas A&M Engineering Extension Service, and it's also in partnership with the Virginia Department of Emergency Management and the Piedmont Regional Criminal Justice Training Academy. You can register for both the trainings on our website or by scanning the QR code on your screen. And again, our website is newcollegeinstitute.org. And then last but not least, NCI is having multiple food trucks on site. This is going to be next Thursday, June 12th from 11 to 2 p.m. Anyone in the public is welcome. The food trucks are going to be in the parking lot at the Baldwin Building. And it looks like we're having Ann's Kitchen, Bahama Snow Shack, Malloy Dogs, and Tammy's Grill. And I should also note that Thursday, June 12th is the next NCI Board of Directors meeting. So we have a full slate of events, and then rolling right into that Saturday is Charisse's Juneteenth event with FAHI. So we're excited to be so busy, all of us at the table. Naomi and Charisse, thank you guys so much for joining us. Any final parting thoughts before we wrap up?
I want to have a big shout out for Joe Sumner and for NCI for hosting our Juneteenth Gospel celebration. I am truly indebted that NCI would be so kind as to open up its doors and allow us to come in and celebrate Juneteenth on June 19th at 6 o'clock. Thank you so very much, and thank you for inviting me to this discussion. And thank you for doing such a wonderful job with FAHI.
Thank you. To God be the glory. Thank you for having me today, Olivia. And I also, I'm very thankful for NCI. You all have been great partners with us since I've come on as a director, so I appreciate that. Guys, come out and enjoy the festival. Make this one of the largest festivals we see here in Martinsville-Henry County. We're prepared for you, so come out and have a good time.
Awesome. Well, thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of What's Happening at NCI. We'll be back soon with our next episode.